The day my business collapsed felt unreal, like watching someone else's life fall apart through a foggy window. One phone call, then another, and by nightfall the accounts were frozen, contracts voided, and my house, my home for 20 years, was no longer mine. I packed a single bag, leaving behind walls that still smelled like my late wife's perfume. I sat in my car until the engine went cold, staring at the steering wheel, wondering how everything I built could disappear in a single day. By midnight, I had only one place left to go. My son's house. The drive there felt longer than any road I'd ever taken. Every mile carried memories, paying his college fees, working late nights, missing birthdays so he could have a better life. I parked outside his neat, well-lit home and sat there for a full 10 minutes, rehearsing what I would say. I didn't want pity. I didn't want money. I just needed a roof. A couch. Time to breathe. Swallowing my pride, I knocked on the door, praying he'd see me not as a failure, but as his father. He opened the door wearing a suit, phone pressed to his ear, annoyed to be interrupted. When he saw me, his expression changed, not to concern but discomfort. He stepped outside and closed the door behind him. "What's wrong?" he asked flatly. My voice shook as I explained how the business collapsed, how the bank took the house, how I had nowhere else to go. I didn't cry. I couldn't. I just stood there, exposed, waiting for him to say, "Come in, Dad." Instead, he sighed and rubbed his temple. "This is really bad timing," he said. The words hit me harder than I expected. I nodded quickly, embarrassed. "I won't be in the way," I said. "Just a few nights. I'll sleep on the couch." He didn't answer right away. He glanced back at the door, then at his watch, then finally at me. That pause, that hesitation, told me everything before he even spoke. "I can't," he said quietly. "My wife wouldn't be comfortable with this. We're trying to keep things stable." Stable. The word echoed in my head. I laughed weakly, thinking he was joking. He wasn't. "There's a shelter a few blocks away," he added, as if offering helpful advice. "Or maybe one of your old friends." Old friends. Most of them had disappeared the moment my business failed. Something inside me cracked. Not loudly, not dramatically, but deeply. I nodded slowly, forcing a smile. "Of course," I said. "I understand." He seemed relieved. He didn't ask if I had eaten. He didn't ask how long I'd been awake. He just said, "I hope things work out," and opened the door to go back inside. The warm light spilled onto the porch for a second, then vanished as the door closed. I stood there longer than I should have, staring at the door like it might open again. It didn't. I walked back to my car and sat inside, gripping the wheel until my hands hurt. That was the moment I realized losing my business and house hadn't broken me. That had been pain. This was something else. This was knowing the person you sacrificed everything for saw you as an inconvenience. That night, I slept in my car behind a closed grocery store. The cold seeped into my bones, but it wasn't as cold as what I felt inside. I replayed memories, teaching him to ride a bike, helping with homework, working double shifts so he'd never feel this kind of desperation. I didn't regret any of it. But I finally understood something painful. Love given doesn't guarantee love returned. Weeks passed. I rebuilt slowly. A cheap room. A small job. Pride swallowed daily. I didn't call my son. He didn't call me either. Then one afternoon, I saw him across the street outside a cafe. He looked successful. Confident. He saw me too. For a moment, his face showed something. Guilt, maybe. He started walking toward me, then stopped. He turned away. I didn't chase him. I didn't call out. I just watched him go, strangely calm. Because by then, the breaking had already happened. And once something shatters quietly, it never makes noise again.